This is ridiculous as an NHL insider revealed details on Quinn Hughes' future with the Vancouver Canucks as Jim Rutherford tries to figure out what to do with his captain. But not only that, we get a huge update coming out of the juniors that benefits the Canucks a lot. We're going to break down all this, including quotes from this NHL insider on Quinn Hughes and how these new rule changes to the CHL changes everything for the Vancouver Canucks and their young prospects. Later on this episode, before we get into that, if you haven't hit that sub button yet, we're trying to reach our goal of 8,000 subscribers. If you're enjoying this daily Canucks content and you want to stay up to date on everything from prospects, game recaps, trades, rumors, reports, anything at all, make sure to go down, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton, and in return, we'll keep you updated from around your team. But with that, let's just hop straight into the first topic. And before we get into Quinn Hughes and the update, we do get a rule change coming to the CHL, where we do see coming in from Scott Wheeler. Not sure if it's there yet, but there's a lot of chatter amongst agents and the CHL clubs about AHL moving their long-standing 20-year-old rule change for major junior players to be 19-year-old entry. That would see the language, but sounds like in some form. Now with this does have some implications on the Canucks, and a very good one in that matter. I mean, yesterday, we seen Braeden Cootes sign with the Canucks on his entry-level contract. Now with signing this, he has two options. He can return to the WHL or go straight to the Canucks. And let's be honest, we don't want to rush a young 18-year-old straight into a Vancouver Canucks team that's desperately looking for a center position, because this would be throwing him to the wolves. But with Cootes, if this rule change does come in effect, we could see him slide straight into Abbotsford in not 2 years, but 1 year from now, where he could join this lineup and make an immediate impact, build with the culture, and work with Manny Malhotra and his group. Not saying he's not getting development in the WHL, but getting him into pro hockey immediate within this organization would be a really nice step in the right direction for this Canucks team, and Cootes on his own as he gets to grow with other prospects on this team as well. But not only that, there's another player in Riley Patterson who we've seen dominate in the OHL, 59 points, 25 goals, almost a point per game in the playoffs, and he's 19 years old, so he would be eligible to make the jump straight into Abbotsford going into next season. This would add two centers that can grow with this group. We've seen Romani step straight into the NCAA, so he would not be eligible, but this does help with the Canucks getting their prospects into their system sooner, getting these young players in Cootes and Patterson. And this is not even just the start of it. There's so many more guys, but getting them into this lineup would be huge. What would you guys' thoughts on this? Do you think this little rule change would benefit the Canucks? Would you like to see these prospects step into Abbotsford a lot sooner? Because I think it would be awesome and help with their development. But with that, let's just hop straight into the second topic today, where we do know Quinn Hughes has a limited amount of years on his current contract with the Vancouver Canucks. And we did get a quote. It'd be insane to let him walk. You could see the situation coming like a Matthew Tkachuk, where you know where it's all headed, and make a deal before he leaves for nothing. It kind of feels like it's trending in that direction. Now, this was a quote he had on The Big Show, speaking on Quinn Hughes, not the wrestler The Big Show, but his show, The Big Show. And this quote is a little concerning, but very ridiculous when looking into it. With Quinn Hughes, we know there's a bit of a murky future. We've seen the reports coming out that he wants to play with his brothers, not coming from him himself, but people are really putting it out there. Hey, Quinn wants to play with Jack. Quinn wants to play with Luke. But there is no concrete evidence on any of this. Is there a concern? Yes. There's always a concern with your captain leaving your team to join another team. I mean, looking at Quinn Hughes, we know year 5 of 6 starting this year, so he does have 2 years left. He'll be 27 at this. He's in the works of being the highest paid defenseman if he stays with the Canucks, because they will offer anything they can to keep him here, and for good reason. Now, this kind of falls back onto what Jim Rutherford spoke on this past season with Quinn Hughes. He spoke on this, and this whole article will be linked down below, where he said if we get to the trade deadline 2 years from now and it looks like he doesn't want to stay, then we would have to do something at that point. We are hoping that he's here to stay and he's the leader of the team, the face of the franchise. Now, with this quote, with 2 years left on his contract, which would be this year, we will still have Quinn Hughes for this entirety of next season. But going into next year after that trade deadline, If Quinn's looking at the Canucks and saying, hey, I don't want to be here, I'm looking at the open market, you do have the chance to move on from him. But the last thing you want to do is trade out Quinn Hughes, not have Quinn Hughes. And we've seen the situation. Calgary moved on from Matthew Tkachuk. We've seen him move Monahan. We've seen him move Goodrow. Since then, they have not been competing. What happened when they did trade Matthew Tkachuk? Well, the Florida Panthers just won their back-to-back Stanley Cups, and this is a situation the Canucks don't want to get themselves into. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not worried, because I am a little worried on this, but I do think everything is pointing to Quinn coming back. I mean, we know how good he is. I'm not going to sit here and read you his stats. A almost point-per-game defenseman or over a point per game every single season. The best defenseman in the National Hockey League. Listen, Cale Makar is good, but he's not Quinn Hughes. We've seen how good Quinn Hughes is, even when his team's playing down. Cale Makar is very good, but I still have Quinn at the top of the league on the top defenseman. But going further into this, getting him back is the number one priority. And we've seen Greg continue on his episode saying we're down the road in the past, or just assuming a guy wants to play in the States or with siblings. We ultimately don't know what Quinn's feeling about the organization or the city. He might have a different idea than we do. And I think this is a very good follow-up with this, because yes, there is concern, but no one knows how Quinn Hughes, minus himself and maybe his brothers, he talks to them, he's on vacation with them, from all the social media posts. But what we're seeing right now is it's getting to the point that yes, there is a bit of panic. There is a doomsday button that could be hit if the Canucks have to move on from him, and this team would almost have to go straight into a rebuild. I mean, we're going to go into it a tiny bit. Looking at the defense right now, this is very good. I know a lot of people are looking at me and saying, you're crazy. You're very optimistic on the team. But this team still had 90 points last year. This is a team that dealt with a lot of injuries last year. Their star player in Petey not being healthy to play. This is a team that can make the playoffs, will make the playoffs, and will go on a run once again. But if you remove Quinn Hughes from the equation, Marcus Pettersson is a hell of a defenseman, but not a number one. Filip Hronek is an awesome number two defenseman. Both of them are a good pairing, but with Quinn Hughes there, it adds the extra element. Now, continuing on down the list, you still have young guys. Forbort is not young. I shouldn't say young and followed up with Forbort, but a very good defensive defenseman. DPD looked outstanding. We've seen POJ sign with the Canucks as well as the seventh defenseman, but looking into the lower half with the Canucks in Abbotsford, there's a lot of guys here that are very good. Sorminio looked great. He joined the team, not playing during the run, but still around this team, the culture. Watch them win the Abbotsford Cup. Victor Mancini is looking like a hidden gem, coming over in the trade for JT Miller, looking like a workhorse, a shutdown defenseman that's very mobile. I mean, if you search up his name and watch the kid skate, he looks very good. Tom Willander, their top defensive prospect, still very good as well. And Kirill Kudratsev was a guy that came into this team and really shined during the playoffs. But once again, when looking through the list, none of these guys are Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes is a unicorn in this league, a very good defenseman on both ends of the puck, very gifted offensively. And yes, some of these players have that as well, but losing Quinn Hughes would alter the entire timeline for this Vancouver Canucks team. He is the face of the franchise. He's the captain of the team, the leader. And I think with all these reports coming out, yes, unless Quinn Hughes says it himself, we're uncertain, but it does get a little concerning when it continues to float around. And if the Canucks don't go on either, say, a deep run, or if they continue to miss the playoffs, or if things continue to get worse in this team, yes, there is a possibility where Quinn wants to jump ship. But at this very moment, Canucks fans, don't panic too much. It's ridiculous with everything coming out. But overall, we have Quinn Hughes. We have Quinn Hughes for a minimum of a year and a half, if you're going by the quote that Jim Rutherford said. But at this very moment, be optimistic with this team. We have the best defenseman in the NHL for at least the next 2 seasons. And this is a team that's going to surprise a lot of people. Listen, be optimistic with the team. Really look into last year. If you take out the injuries, if you take out the turmoil, this is a team that was a playoff team and probably went on another run. Once this team gets healthy, they're going to do good. And Canucks fans, listen, we're all emotional. We want to see a cup. We know how bad things have been. I mean, we've seen the Boston Bruins series in the Stanley Cup Finals. Things feels like it can't get better, but it will go up from here. But what's your guys' thoughts on this? What is your thoughts on the CHL rule change? Are you excited to see some of these younger guys get into the Abbotsford lineup so you can watch them live in person in BC? What's your thoughts on this Quinn Hughes report coming from Greg? I know there's a lot to take in, but right now, we know one thing. Quinn Hughes is going to be in the opening night roster, so that's all we need to look forward to at the very moment. Go ahead and leave your thoughts on all this down below. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back in another episode, so keep your eye out for that. But I've been your host, Mark Pye, and take care.